Thank you, Honorable Chair, the Honorable Guest of Honor, the organizers, honorable leaders, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I'd like to acknowledge Ms. Banibula, the Executive Director of African Link, also to acknowledge the speakers, the sponsors, the organizers, and the participants for allowing us this opportunity to address this event, the Mandela Freedom Route Youth Leadership Summit. At Polarprojects, we are proud to call Ms. Banibula our friend. Polarprojects is a project management consultancy based in the UK doing projects in Europe and Africa. Our recent projects include iHealth Africa and the African Tourism Showcase, currently discussing anti-poaching in Africa, in partnership with Italy, the African Tourism Board, and African Tourism Ministers. We are barely visible on the internet, but our contacts reach very deep into the African governments and Europe. My talk today is directed to the African youth from the perspective of Madiba Nelson Mandela. As an African child of yesterday, I wondered how a man of sound mind survived 27 years in prison and yet achieved so much. Today, the African youth struggle to achieve simple success. What I will share with you today is never spoken about in school. Lesson 1, strategy. When Madiba became president, I wanted to meet him too and shake his hand. So I mapped out my strategy to meet him. But by the time I made it close, Madiba was too ill to receive guests. I met Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa instead, who is now the president of South Africa. That was how powerful my strategy was. I still use it today. My strategy is nothing other than the 6 degrees of separation. Google it. 6 degrees of separation says all people on average are 6 steps or introductions away from each other. As a result, a chain of a friend of a friend of a friend can be made to connect any 2 people in a maximum of 6 steps, even if one is in South Africa and the other is in Japan. It is also known as the 6 handshakes rule. Lesson 2, the path. One day in the library self-help section, I came across special titles. The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela. Where do we go from here, Martin Luther King? So this African child went to his wise teacher and asked, why do great achievers choose words like walk, road, way, or path in their books? Wise teacher replied, a road is traveled by many, a walk is done with great determination, a path is discovered. The short answer was, life is a journey. It's either you own it or you don't. Lesson 3, whispers. No one is telling the African child how to really achieve success. Those who achieve it are showing off on Instagram. At Polarprojects, we believe in thoughts, words, and action exactly in that order. That was Madiba's secret. Whether you are a young person in KwaZulu-Natal or Lagos or Nairobi, the Madiba formula is the same. You think it, you say it, and you act on it. Lesson 4, growth. Ladies and gentlemen, the essence of life is growth. When growth stops, death is certainly imminent. So, are you growing? My wise teacher once said, there are 2 things in life we have no control about. First, the start of our lives, or being born into families we don't choose. The second thing is the end of our lives, or our deaths. But for everything else in between, we are in control. We can go along with it or reject it. Lesson 5, laws. African child, there is a science of success, and it is an exact science like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws which govern the process of success. Once these laws are learned and obeyed by any person, they will be successful with absolute mathematical certainty. Lesson 6. The Madiba within Mandela. Conflict hinders progress for the African child. Conflict within the country, community, or even in the family. But the worst of them all is conflict within the self. How can we be conflicted within ourselves? As African children growing up in these ever-changing times, we are in conflict with many things, both within ourselves and externally. We have this dichotomy of thoughts: study and succeed. We go through school, collect these fancy certificates, diplomas, degrees, and titles with the promise of success, but still we miss it. I am fascinated by these two contrasting dichotomies. I call the first the career me, influenced by the society, family, media, and all to create a CV that will get me a job. The career me is so competitive that it looks at the world as a competition. The career me wants a top job, big house, big car, fitting in high places, influenced by family, friends, and society, materialistic. We achieve it, reach the pinnacle, but still feel empty. The career me has pushed itself so much that there was no room for anyone else, no time for dating anyone, not even a boyfriend or girlfriend. Yeah. The other fascinating opposite is the inner me. The inner me is that warm feeling of the me that people say when we die. The funeral speeches talk about our generosity, kindness, compassion, virtue, love of others, or service to our communities. It's priceless. The contrast of the inner me and of the career me makes our African child very conflicted. The inner me is what we at Polarprojects call the Madiba within Mandela. The inner me would seek for the common good of all people. It puts others first, helps mankind, and seeks for the common good. It is what most religions say the ideal person should aspire to be. The Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Jews, Africans. Mandela's rainbow nation of many colors, of 11 official languages, all brought together by the virtues of the inner me. It's not dictated by your looks, certificates, or Instagram. When you die, it is your inner you that remains as your legacy. Lesson 7. We have to balance the inner me and the career me. African child, you can do it. The key solution is all within you. The key is your wonderful human imagination. You think yourself to success. Fill yourself with thoughts of success. Speak the words of success and walk the path of success. You will be the best of the best. I remain yours truly, Maurice Kusotera, known as Maurice Polarprojects. Thank you. I thank you.